Hey there, Alfred here. We have another build and it's called the Giant Killer. A Searing and Stagger build using the Hope-Shorn Scythe. I'm calling it the Giant Killer because this is what it can do. I love that moment when the enemy's poise break and you can execute them with a backstab. Let's get into this build. This build is specifically built around the advanced status effect, Searing. Searing is a new status effect that was added during the Together update. Dealing fire damage to a plague-infected target will increase fire damage taken. What this signifies is that there are two components to this build. The first is plague damage to build up infection. The second is fire damage that will only use once the target is already infected. To accomplish that, we're using a Hope-Shorn Scythe that we've loaded with fire-based attack runes. Hope-Shorn is one of a few weapons that's naturally imbued with the plague element. This means we don't have to hunt for a weapon with the festering facet to deal plague damage. We can use another facet and still have the benefits of having plague damage. Okay, let's get into this build. We're using the Hope-Shorn Scythe. It's a two-handed weapon that's naturally imbued with plague. I put in Fire Swipe and Eruption in the empty rune slots. These are fire-based runes that we'll use to activate the Searing status effect. For the facet, I went with Reliable. This increases attack damage and poise damage, but removes critical chance. Then on the gem slot, I put in Mottled Granite to increase poise damage even more. I chose to increase poise damage since I want to take advantage of this enchantment on the body armor. Infected enemy stagger resistance reduced. In my opinion, this is the best thing about plague damage. You can break enemy poise faster when they're infected. Moving to the enchantments, I have attack speed increased by 10% of current durability, and durability increased. One of the best things about the Hope-Shorn Scythe is its really quick charge attack. By increasing our attack speed, we're also making the charge attack much faster. This means if we attack aggressively with charge attacks, we can stagger enemies really quickly, which leads us to the next enchantment. Gain health on staggering an enemy. This enchantment is our lifeline. We can afford to attack aggressively and absorb some hits, since we can stagger enemies quickly and gain some health back every time that we do. Then we have damage increase for 30 seconds after backstab. This is really useful when dealing with regular monsters. We can stagger any non-boss enemies with 1 or 2 hits, and we can backstab them easily once they're staggered. On the downside, lose focus on damage taken. For the armor pieces, I went with all cloth. Cloth allows us to have great mobility without investing heavily on equip load. For the facets, I went with Mystic on the helmet and body armor, Rapid on the gloves, and Agile on the pants. I went with Mystic on the headgear and body armor since I want to gain focus quickly to cast our fire runes and inflict enemies with Searing. I went with Rapid in the gloves to speed up our charge attack even more. Then I went with Agile on the pants to mitigate the stamina gain reduction downside of the Mystic facet. On the gem slots, I put in Mottled Topaz on the helmet, body armor, and pants. This is so we can gain focus faster. On the gloves, I put in Mottled Fang to decrease stamina cost by 12%. The stamina cost of attacking with Hope-Shorn is quite high. This gem will help us manage that cost much more effectively. Alright, now let's go through the enchantments. Since this build is about the advanced status effect Searing, which increases fire damage on infected enemies, we have Infected build-up increase here on the gloves. This here is important as this enchantment will make it easier to infect enemies. Then to further enhance the Searing damage, we have fire damage increased here on the helmet, body armor, and pants. Since this is also a stagger build, we have infected enemy stagger resistance reduced here on the body armor. To enable us to attack continuously, we have gain stamina on staggering an enemy and gain health on staggering an enemy here on the gloves. These two enchantments are our lifeline. We gain stamina and a massive amount of health back once we stagger enemies. Since we will use charge attacks often, we have charge attack damage increased here on the gloves. To give us some damage mitigation, we have damage resistance increased by percentage of current durability and durability increased here on the body armor. To further decrease the stamina cost of charge attacks, we have stamina cost reduced here on the pants. To enhance our damage against tanky enemies, we have gain armor penetration here on the pants and on the helmet. To further speed up our focus gain, we have focus gain increased by percentage of durability and durability increased here on the helmet. As for the downsides, we have stagger resistance reduced here on the helmet and body armor. Since we're using cloth armor, we'll be staggered quite easily even without these downsides. So I figured these downsides are less impacting than others. Then we have drain health in combat here on the gloves. One of the special properties of Plague Element is that we gain lifesteal against infected enemies. So as long as we're attacking and infecting enemies, we're pretty much negating this downside. Not to mention, we have gain health on staggering enemies as well. For the rings, we have the Band of Calmness to increase our focus and focus gain. We have the Willow Cap ring to increase our overall speed. Then we have the Jade ring, which gives us 6% stamina on damage dealt. As for the stats, we have 45 on health, 20 on stamina, 46 on faith, and 16 on equip load. As for the playstyle, we use our charge attacks to stagger and infect enemies with plague. Make sure to backstab enemies whenever you have the opportunity. This is the reason why I call this build the Giant Killer, since we can make large enemies kneel and we can execute them with a backstab. Once you have enough focus, use Fire Swipe or Eruption to trigger Searing for massive amounts of damage. One thing about this build is, as much as possible, avoid getting hit. Keep in mind we only have cloth armor on and that makes us really soft. because of the stamina cost reduction enchantments we have, dodging does not expend a lot of stamina. Make sure to take advantage of that and dodge enemy attacks coming your way. Aside from that, this build is really fun to play with. It's not ridiculously overpowered, it takes away the challenges of the game. It supports an active and aggressive playstyle that will certainly keep you on your toes. Alright, that's it for the build. To really see what this build can do, we have a no echo battle against the Echo Knight set on the Path of the Unspoken. Also, if you made it this far and you like my content, please subscribe. I have more wicked content planned that will not only involve build making, but other aspects of the game as well. Stay tuned for those. That's it, folks. Stay safe out there. Bye!